as the moderator introduced, I represent Korea Atomic Energy Research Institute, which is called KAERI for short. I'm very pleased to introduce KAERI's research and international collaboration activities at this very important event. Korea's nuclear power capacity has continuously grown since 1959, when the construction of a Trigger Mark II reactor began. Today, Korea ranked number 5 in the world in terms of nuclear energy production, with 32 nuclear power plants. With the continuous construction of nuclear power plants for the past 50 years, at the rate of 2 units per every 3 years, Korea was able to establish an efficient and self-sufficient nuclear supply system. As a result, Korea has grown into a nuclear technology supplier, exporting reactors to the United Arab Emirates and also to Czech Republic. In this journey, KAERI has played a vital role in nuclear manpower capacity building and also in developing advanced nuclear technologies. In particular, KAERI built the Hanaro research reactor with its own technology and exported the research reactor technology to Jordan. And April this year, KAERI was awarded the initial phase design of the next generation Missouri research reactor, next gen MAR, shown on the corner. Next, please. Now let me introduce KAERI's R&D in advanced reactors, which are essential in mitigating not only climate changes, but also in meeting the increasing demand for data center electricity. Although renewable energy is considered as an effective means of reducing carbon dioxide emission, it is not possible to achieve carbon neutrality with the renewables only. It is because of the need for very expensive and huge energy storage systems, which are essential to address the variability of renewable energies. Thus, a substantial portion of carbon-free energy in the future must be supplied by nuclear power. In this regard, various advanced reactors are being developed in the form of small modular reactors, namely SMRs. In large reactors, there are reactor core, steam generator, pumps. Those are placed separately, and those major components are connected through pipes. And there is a chance of a pipe break, which will lead to loss of a coolant accident, which can be very severe. But if you make the reactor small, it is possible to place all the major components into a reactor vessel like this, as shown on the right. This is the concept of integration. In an integral reactor, the chance of a pipe break, which might lead to severe accident in large reactors, is fundamentally removed, and thus higher safety is guaranteed. KAERI is a pioneer in developing integral reactors. We had completed the design of the SMART SMR, which are shown on the right, and obtained standard design approval 2 times, 1 time last year. And I think some countries, Kazakhstan, Uzbekistan, are interested in SMART. KAERI, next please. KAERI is developing 3 types of generation 4 reactors, which are needed for achieving carbon neutrality, not only in electricity generation, but also in non-electricity sectors. First, we are working on a sodium-fast reactor called SALUS, which is adequate for long cycle operation and for harmonious operation with the renewables, thanks to the capability of easy control of reactor power. The second, next please. The second is a high temperature reactor, gas-cooled high-temperature reactor called HECTAR. This is adequate for industrial heat supply. I also know that Kazakhstan is interested in high-temperature gas-cooled reactor, and they are collaborating with the JAEA in a quite large extent. The third is the molten salt reactor called Eureka, in which the fuel and coolant are mixed together in the liquid molten salt form, and the structure is very simple, and it can be made small, so it is adequate for ship propulsion. Next, please. All the advanced reactors currently being developed in several countries involve innovative designs which were not adopted in conventional reactors. Therefore, the licensing framework must be newly established, because nuclear safety is a global issue, not just limited to a single country. I think establishing a global common licensing framework dealing with the safety standards and criteria for advanced reactors could be the first candidate item requiring international collaboration. The second candidate item would be establishing internationally coordinated HALEU supply system. Because of the many emerging advanced reactor design require high ESA, low enriched uranium fuel, and enrichment technology is a sensitive technology. So co-investment to an internationally shared HALEU production facility could be a promising option in the realization of advanced reactors. For newcomer countries in nuclear power, international effort to educate and training young professionals are essential. KAERI has expanded its support for nuclear capacity building in Asia. For instance, this Hanaro research reactor, which was designated as an ISER, International Center based on research reactors, can be used for training and research of the nuclear personnel in emerging countries. Similarly, we can use the next slide, please. We can use the Asian Network for Education in Nuclear Technology, called ANENT, in providing education and training opportunities over the Asian region. Currently, next please. Currently on the southeastern coast of Korea, a new nuclear research complex called MARINS is under construction. And then it will include a low power educational reactor called ACE, Advanced Critical Assembly for Education. And next, please. It can serve as a global nuclear reactor physics training framework, as the Kyoto University Critical Assembly, KUKA, did to international students for last tens of years. Now let me conclude. Korea's nuclear power capacity has grown with strong support from the international community. In particular, the introduction of the Trigger Mark II research reactor in the 1960s and the training of young nuclear engineers in the United States during the 1980s marked the very first steps in Korea's nuclear capacity development. These experiences have made us keenly aware of the importance of international collaboration. Today, Korea has transformed from an importer of nuclear technology into an exporter, and from a recipient of cooperation into donor and partner. Looking ahead, we seek greater opportunities to promote the peaceful uses of nuclear power worldwide, with particular emphasis on nuclear safety and non-proliferation. Thank you for your attention.